Good afternoon, everybody. Hell's Unicorn here again. And you know something? I don't usually get involved in media circuses if I can help it, but I can't help but occasionally read up on whatever's going on with reports by Reuters, the Associated Press, or what have you, because every day I have to check my email, and there's always news links on the host site for Comcast that I end up clicking on. And I saw the link to the latest article on the Daily Beast, a site that I never go on. Can't stand it. Some of the most vapid, banal, and utterly uninteresting journalism ever practiced goes on this website. It's boring. It's there's no other way to explain it. It's an insult to the intelligence of whoever's reading it. But nonetheless, I haven't really given my opinion on one of the particular writers on the website, although I've given plenty of opinions about her bastard father, John McCain, and his support of the very bad policies of this country, both foreign and domestic. He occasionally likes to make token votes in favor of spending reductions, but you know something? It's all talk as far as I'm concerned. Spending continues, and he's got this typical let's all get along and just go with it attitude. The country's going down the tubes, but let's just go with it. But I kept my silence with regards to his loudmouth daughter, Meghan McCain, because, quite frankly, I consider her a complete non sequitur in all respects of everything. In terms of even metaphysical existence, there is nothing about her that warrants any level of concern whatsoever. As far as I'm concerned, she might as well not exist. You can't distinguish her from the vast array of opportunistic attention whores looking to make a name for themselves by playing off of either side of a political discussion, depending on which side appears to be the most popular. But I've had a little bit of a change of heart with regards to her because you know something? I tuned in to hear the clip that she was responding to in her latest article. Apparently, Glenn Beck decided to really, really cross the line. And you know something? I've stated previously that I'm not a big fan of Glenn Beck because I think he's melodramatic and I think he's a liability even though he does get stuff right. What he said about Meghan McCain and what he was doing via satire, pretending to vomit while watching a ad of her doing skincare awareness, being in a very revealing pose, so to speak, and talking about being naked, it was wrong. Glenn Beck, you really need to grow up. You need to mature. You know something? It was wrong what you did. It was very wrong. But it was pretty goddamn hilarious. To all of you listening, I was being sarcastic earlier. I utterly despise the McCains. Always have, always will. And I don't hate them because of their personalities. They're uninteresting people, and I don't hate people for being uninteresting. I hate them for what they stand for and for what they do. And the same basically holds true for John McCain's voluptuous, somewhat sedentary party girl daughter. She writes about as badly as she dresses, just for everybody's general reckonridge. Meghan McCain, I have a piece of advice for you. Don't ever talk about being naked, and don't wear anything revealing. Because I'll tell you, I watched that clip, and quite frankly, my heterosexuality was hanging on by a very, very thin thread. I had to go back and page through the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue online, photographs, just to get it back from the brink. You obviously have a little bit of extra weight on. I'm not going to rip on you for it beyond just saying that it's true. Either get onto a Stairmaster, do some Pilates, or cover yourself up. Because you invite this kind of stuff. You go on television, you write articles, you come off as completely obnoxious, you make fun of people, engage in ad hominems, and then you go parading around talking about being naked, and you expect people to be polite, and you expect people to care when you try to hide behind crypto-feministic rhetoric whenever somebody pokes fun at your obvious weight problems? Sorry, this isn't going to work on me. And it shouldn't work on anybody else. Eventually, reason has to come into the discussion. And reason dictates that the only reason why you talk about being naked and parading around naked in order to gain awareness is because you're drawing attention to yourself. I think it's wholly inappropriate, believe it or not, to engage in this sort of stuff in the name of charity. What does it say about the human race or America in general that we have to use sex ploys in order to get people to be altruistic? It's pretty sad if you ask me. But you know something, I'll say it before. I don't like Glenn Beck, but I really, really don't like Meghan McCain. And, you know, Meghan McCain says, Glenn Beck, shut up about my weight. Well, my response to you, Meghan McCain, is shut up and put some clothes on. Seriously. You're not doing yourself any favors, and you're definitely not doing the majority of the male population any favors by going around half-clothed. It's not working. And while you're at it, Meghan, work on your attitude a bit, because every time you talk, you come off as a condescending bitch. And quite frankly, I don't want to hear it, and most other people that are concerned with what's going on don't want to hear it. Your rhetoric is petty, the topics you discuss are uninteresting, you get literally everything wrong when it counts. You are the embodiment of what the Republican Party has been for the better part of the past 10 years or so. You are the quintessential Bush Republican moderate. Pro-war, trying to get along with quasi-communistic leftists. You're the worst of the worst. You lend credibility to people like Rachel Maddow, the troglodyte. So, you know something? If you want to cry about it, Meghan, go ahead and cry about it, but you're not getting any sympathy from me. And from everybody else, for everybody else here, you know, if you think I'm crossing the line here, if you think I'm being an asshole, feel free to let me know. I'm going to let the comments go freely here. I'm not going to delete anybody's comments because, you know something, I saw that the Daily Beast has been erasing comments unfavorable towards Meghan McCain on that article, and quite frankly, that's ridiculous. I delete comments primarily because people get off topic, but I'm going to do this in protest of the unreasonable censorship of the Daily Beast. I think there is such a thing as reasonable censorship in order to keep a topic on track, but just deleting opinions just because you don't like them, I'm sorry, that doesn't cut it for me. All right, till next time, guys, with prudence to myself and benevolence to all of you, good evening.